What is up? It is AFALOZ on the daily. No, sorry, not AFALOZ today. It's just AFALOZ. This is Book of Andakah, Parable 1, Pass, Part 3. All right, I can't believe I haven't read the future or the present once. This is like my fucking fifth take of doing this, by the way, and I've just tried to like read it in so many different ways, and I just had to get used to like being able to speak on the camera and being able to like see myself over there. It freaks me out, man. I hate doing this. It like freaks me out. But let's this is very vulnerable. This is vulnerable to read and like really crystallize and like encapsulate my failings essentially as a writer. Like, this is gonna be here forever. All right, like I'm gonna be able to edit my website, but I'm not gonna remove or edit these, and I'm not gonna like redo these. You're just gonna get the raw readings. And my voice is shot. I've been sick for like a week now. It's crazy because I always get sick right before I go on like a long break from work. Like, my body just knows, like, hey man, if you don't work, you're gonna get fired. If you take a day off, you're gonna get fired. So you can only get sick when it's at your like mandated day off, and it just ruins everything because we can't do anything that we want to do because I'm sick and I get the kids sick, or the kids get me sick, whatever the case is. But anyway, no more ranting. Let's get to reading. All right. So, Zer, show me Pearl 001 again, please. Her tears began to roll down. It's 7:16. I'm going to stop reading at 7:26. Sorry. Ugh. Sir, show me Pearl 001 again, please. Her tears began to roll down as the shell began to glow and get hot. It produced a pearl. Her stomach felt alleviated at the sight of the pearl. 7 took the pearl and put it on the bathroom counter. The pearl spun, and a clear image that's fuzzy on the ridges played over the spinning pearl. It was her dad over 3 years ago. She had worked with him closely on all his inventions before they went to research and development. She looked at the pearl and smiled as her dad discussed the possibility of dimensional conversations via the shell, his pipe dream to travel to other dimensions. Anything is possible given enough time and brain power. She took the pearl and put it back in the shell. The pearl spun and spun until it was gone. The heat was almost untenable, but she persevered. 7 wiped her tears and headed for the bread shop that her uncle Reliance wanted to meet at, Sun Chasers Cafe. 7 walked at the bottom floor of the tower, marveling at the quick construction, at the ever-moving atom. She thought about how well the artificial neural networks melded with the silicone bodies. Mushroom fibers really worked. Now, if we could only replace their frames with something cheaper and more brittle, but also durable. The large information weaved into each fiber allowed for specialized segments to mimic the human body in proportion and compartmentalization and expertise. It allowed for highly adaptable models. The area around the tower and within the mini-cities are littered with campaigns for custom-made atoms. I should target these during extreme arbitration. Only solace is their incredibly slow speed, the only solution when dealing with technology faster and stronger than humans. But as always, we must be careful. A single atom is smarter than the human race combined. How could we really stop them if they were to plan something? Would we even know? So many limiters were placed on them, so many backdoors were shut down, but it all seems mute. She let her mind wander around the topic as she headed for her vehicle. She marveled at the tower some more. She reached the front door, more of a gate at this point, manned by one of the atoms. It had a patterned black suit and a yellow head that was illuminated by its neck. The face changed from blank to happy as the door opened and it waved goodbye. Visit soon again, Senior Vice President of Shell, Dr. 7 Al-Hafa, Arbiter of the 7th Zone. Visit soon again. That's actually going to be Arbiter of the 1st Zone. I just thought 7th Zone was funny because she's 7. 7 waved the atom off as she covered her eyes from the sun's light. She looked around for her spot. Her system caught it and directed her towards the Basilicar's materialization point. Her Basilicar appeared out of the ground to take her to the Sun Chasers restaurant as she neared moving traffic accordingly. She entered the Arcade 3 and was engulfed in Zaire, the Ocore Network's version of the Gruhana, a cheaper and more widely adopted frequency-based light thread. This behind, they must have something up their sleeve, version .192 of our Gruhana. I could mold a nanite. Maybe it's time to infiltrate the R&D. Insurance. A chime played as she was held in stasis. Thank you for your subscription to Ocore. No hassle speed at no hassle prices. Ocore general protocol enabled. Seven felt her entire body. Oh my gosh. Seven felt her entire body push back as the basilicar lifted off the ground and sped towards the domain requested. Jesus, metrics now! Seven's mouth strained to get the words out. The field barely did anything to negate the vibration disturbance. Speed at 110, 3 seconds startup, high V dust protection. This is high? Fuck. Seven laughed and laughed. Say ha 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 ha. Shout out our boy, Blackbeard. The Ocore powered basilicar swerved through the first city, layered with atoms, not only building the city but also ensuring the air and other qualities are up to par for human and hybrid living standards. Seven's eyes honed in on the variant that piqued her interest, one that her father could never properly explain. A special variant that is littered amongst the trees of all the zones of Invocar, a Kraken. Atoms as wet as water, silicone and tech constantly filtering the dirt and debris in the air to minimize the damage to humans from the miasma. Blooming their skin to mimic trees, the leaves erupting blue, changing the landscape as it ebbed and flowed with the miasma. How the fuck do we not have access to this shit? Co-develop my fat ass. Jesus, this tech would blend so well with my hybrid habitat. I need to get unbusy fast. Maybe I'll hang up the blade. Ipiona has been waiting so long to be an arbiter. Jesus help me, how do I control her bloodlust? Seven could see the restaurant ahead. The next few minutes were covered with advertisements of the Forever One regime, the current head of Invocar. Banners, nanite demonstrations, even the isolock resistors are paraded. Unify the planet, align Invocar. Can't even think differently around here nowadays. Arriving, Sun Chasers Lounge and Grill, KBBQ. Slow down complete. Draining Zaire, you have arrived. Thank you for using Ocore. Please rate us and remember, auto renew is on. Thank you. The generated voice was angelic, but the visual representation they projected on the field resembled a giant blob of oozing liquid. Their system seemed to drain too much power to properly show the tokened image. Seven got out of the... This might be my last one for today. Oh god. Seven got out of the basilicar and dusted some of the remaining Zaire off her shoulders and the rest of her jacket. Her clothes began to slightly vibrate to get the remaining Zaire off as the floor absorbed it and put the Zaire back into the Zaire system. She walked towards with beautiful edges of bushes and lilacs, animals of old projected by the city grid, bees, birds, dogs, old heritage icons projected about to frolic, encoded with the strong intelligence system so it can reliably entertain the residents. The restaurant was colorful. It had beautiful stones layered upon it, interweaved to form a large mosaic of old mountains and fields that had been seized by Cantor. It reminded Seven of an old town her father used to speak about in one of his old books. She entered Sunchaser's Lounge and Grill KBBQ. A quiet and serene melody played as an atom played a guitar and a piano. Its mouth generated a song that updated and continued and evolved. Beast will ease the pain. Don't let it drain, don't let it drain, don't let it strain your heart, drain your heart. It sang and played, entertained its purpose. Seven covered her mouth as she waited in the restaurant. She watched a couple eat a turkey and down a tub of ice cream when Adam delivering more food. She felt queasy. He's fucking lazy. I should thin some of them out. Cool down, cool down, cool down. Not a single human for help. Where are you, Uncle? She covered her mouth with her hand as she scanned the packed room for alliance. No luck. Humans came and went, leaving all their items on table, leaving the atoms to pick them up while the table self-sanitized with a spritz of vapor spray. Seven remembered her father doting in the restaurant as it was slowly filled with atoms. It was just another replica of a historic restaurant for her, another replica from her father's father's fathers. Who cares history? That's not bled into the designs. That's now bled into the designs with etchings of all zones throughout the Invocar. It had nothing to do with her. It wasn't her story. Seven was greeted by a bright pink atom. It waved her to her seat, and her eyes locked with a familiar sight. Her Uncle Reliance was destroying a shaken burger, stuffing the fries between the burger and layered the shake on top. Too familiar with the restaurant, she walked up and sat down quickly, putting her bag neatly in her side, close at hand. By God, Severus, Reliance said as he coughed out his last bite and swallowed it again. He took his time getting his breath. Do you always have to be so loud, Uncle? She cleared out her side of the table and dug in her bag for a light sheet. She rubbed it on the table, and the system commenced its protocol to clean where the sheet met its surface. It's Dr. Alhafa now, Seven said as she strained herself out. She put the light sheet back into her bag and covered her mouth again. Watch yourself. Might become like your father if you keep that up, Reliance laughed. His rolls giggled with him. When he became a doctor, he chirped the same twang. Our dad was so proud of him. He continued to stuff his face and speak through the bites. First son becoming the first doctor. He shook his head and continued to stuff his face. Seven gagged. Sorry, Uncle. My receptors have been off. Doing a home fix. It's pickle. Reliance interrupted Seven. Hold on now, Seven. Just 'cause the law answers to you doesn't mean you're above it. Watch yourself now. Go see a fixer, a certified one, and get on your record. Don't let arbiters got them good benefits. He muscled through the food. All right. Oh, all right. Let me see. He muscled through the food, dude. What a guy. Reliance, what a guy. All right, so that's part 3. If you like what you hear, you made it this far, and you're not, on the website, good on you. But if you want to be, if you want to just catch up and read by yourself, or see if it's been updated, depends on like when you're actually watching this. Just go on our website, www.afaloz.com. We're gonna try to keep it, ad free. We're gonna try to keep the stories free for as long as possible. Just kidding, it's just gonna be free. It's gonna be edited, of course. It's gonna be changed without warning. Atlanta style. Shout out the Boomin' Savage. But it's gonna evolve. The story's gonna evolve. You saw a little bit in this one where, there's accents. There's gonna be songs. I'm gonna try. This is gonna be pretty expansive. I'm gonna put all of my taste and flavor, all of my, the things that make me me, all the things that I love. It's all gonna be in the story. So again, if you like this stuff, if you like what you're hearing so far, tell your friends, tell your friends' friends, tell your mom, tell your mom's friends, tell your dad if you have a dad. Shout out to all the ones who don't got dads, and just share this shit and grow the fan base. Grow the family, grow the people that you're able to conversate about this story. And you can kind of go over like, oh yeah, I saw that shit when he had no readers. I didn't even read it. I just saw it. But I'm gonna continue this tomorrow. I'll read part 4 tomorrow. But this has been AFALOZ. Oh, I didn't press it. I missed the button, dude.